Turn camera off. Turn camera on.
Lighting sucks, man. Like you guys got fucking porn lighting. But,
That's the best.
I know. We go get some light.
It's like you need a couch.
Yeah.
You need a couch. So I can interview you and tell you how beautiful and gorgeous you are and how you're gonna be a superstar. I mean it. Oh, recipe for disaster. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Woo, it's like we're here, but we're not, right?
Yeah.
There's no repercussions for nudity.
I'm actually my boxer, so if my peen falls out, beware.
Dude, how's the Ivory East, man? You're in fucking
white and pasty. White, pasty, and cold, but you know.
Yeah.
Well.
Yo, so like I'm pretty sure you how's the broad stereotype of East Coasters? Like how does it hold up? Like are they like really like master bureaucrat over there?
Well,
like, is it that? Like kind of like if people from like San Francisco prided themselves like on like a collectivist hippie way of outlook, like these people I can imagine like the very like Boston people and like just like the East Coast just being like, oh yeah, we pride ourselves in being realists. Fuck hippies.
all I can say is passive aggressive. You know,
Hey!
Mao, what's happening?
Oh shit, it's falling.
I'm the most stereotypical like fucking.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna put on a shirt, so give me a second.
You're not naked?
That would be a good idea.
No,
so,
it's a
bro.
bad idea. You should
Supporting Harambe.
Okay, look, Dago, let me answer your question. I got a neighbor, and they communicate through passive-aggressive notes, and most people here speak through their nose. So I guess the stereotype might be a little bit true. I'm gonna mute Ben since he's just kind of like being gay. And anyways, yeah, it's okay, you know.
Watch your micros, Hector.
Oh, whatever, you know.
Watch your like micros, they like hurt.
Yeah, there's a lot of that here. Political correctness and all that stupid stuff, you know, like, oh, don't say that.
Dealing with that, man. It sucks, dude.
It's okay. It's okay. Mexican food, obviously, nothing good here. Yeah, it's fucking like, All right, so I guess I'm gonna get something to write in, you know. And how about you guys? I mean, Dago, I know you're living in San Marcos, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How are things over there?
It's pretty good. It's weird, man. Like the gentrification process is super fresh there. It's like a bakery, man. Like you really see like a lot of division now between like the local community and the college community. Like it's weird. Like the local community kind of shares like a hostility towards the college community, and like the college community just like they want to benefit the local community, but like it's kind of like they think they can do it through like taking a political rhetoric class and getting an A, you know?
Right, without actually doing anything in their life.
Yeah, exactly.
I can share that sentiment. I live in Boone, and it's a college town. It's like the same as San Marcos, sort of. And you know, the locals are old, and they're very distant. They're always out there. The college kids, you know, they're never in. They're not residents. They just come through, and you know, there's parties here once in a while. But people don't really care. They just kind of pass through. They don't want to make long-term connections. They just want to get the fuck out of here, get their degree, pretend that they're sophisticated, and you know, part of the solution.
Absolutely. I mean, it's understandable to some extent. I mean, a lot of these people are like 18, you know, 19. So some will probably grow out of it. I don't know.
It's weird that you mention it, but it's true. Like, I was talking to an acquaintance of mine, and I was just saying, like, you know, once you hit 25, you hit a certain age, you don't want to make new connections, and then you start realizing, like, 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, or 21-year-olds. I'm not saying anything bad, just generalizing. You know, they don't get the fucking message. They're out there, you know. They don't think they're too idealistic.
It's cool though. It's like a pyromaniac age. It was like probably like a 20-year-old. That's like 20, probably like 18 to 20. That's like when like your identity is still kind of fresh and it's just still potent. Like you're the image you like everyone perceives, but you're like the very potent like hyperbole of it. You're just like the very stereotypical one.
I'm at Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's where they hang out, and that's why they say that they're so popular and cool and stuff. I'm trying to unmute Ben, but I hope he doesn't come up with a new fucking Harambe meme. I swear to God, if he starts talking about Harambe, I'm just gonna eject the motherfucker. I'm just joking. Okay, I'm still trying to get some people into here. Just bear with me. Sorry for the rough start. Shoot. You know, I'm not even paying attention to the chat. What's happening here?
Oh, is there a chat going on?
Yeah, there is. Hey, I mean, I probably am getting ahead of myself, but I think virtual meetups are a pretty good idea, you know, since everybody's busy and everybody's somewhere else and stuff.
No, it is. Yo, Hector.
What's up?
I ended up, what's it called? Well, I'm living with, you remember Marthdal, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm living with him now, man. So like, Marthdal, another local producer from Laredo named Stay, they've decided that you know they'd be willing to do a free gig for another like warm clothes drive, you know?
Yeah, dude, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely, and then we can even get Josie involved. So we really already have 3 producers, and we already have sound system connections from when we used to do shit, you know, like that. So like, basically the raw materials are there, man. So like, I was thinking like maybe somewhere in October, this would be good.
That'll be a good idea. October sounds good to me, but you know, and I understand that you've done a lot of that work and you have the connections, and I want to do this really good. Like if I'm gonna come down over there, I want to make sure like shit is flying better than we did it before. You know what I mean? Because I want to go. I for sure. If this is gonna happen, something like that, I want to go. I want to be there.
Yeah, it's because right now, Erica, she's like the main face right now of like LFT, you know, like Feed the Homeless, what people link us to. So
True.
Right now, like even she's expressed like having some you know, some trouble that they need some money, man. So I was thinking you know, like maybe we can just raise something initial and we can like charge a heftier price. You know, I like instead of the $2 entry fee, we can bump it up to like to $5. Basically, it's just going to be that little lobby area at Cafe Dolce, man, the inside area.
Okay, I mean the Cafe Dolce is a good place to do things like that, and I don't know, money for what? I mean, are we talking money for the show or money for feeding the homeless?
So that's the thing is that really just a general something to start off. If let's say if the people at Laredo, let's say they democratically decide that you know, it'd be better for the funds to go towards like let's say 65% feed the homeless, the other 40% on some, you know, software we need or something. Like they can make that decision. But for now, it's like it'd be very effective. We can just provide that initial general funding, you know.
Well, yeah, I understand. I hate getting caught up in fundraising. I think there needs to be like a creative way to do these things, and you know, until she gets here, I want to see what the hell happened with the last Operation Feed the Homeless, how hard it was to get the funds, and you know what really is that she thinks we need. And I'm gonna say this again and again, like, God damn it, why is there always one central focus point? You know, like you guys, anyone can be a leader. And not only can we do the Operation Feed the Homeless, there's so many things we could be doing at a local. You know, like, did you guys see that fag book video from Gordiloca where she's like, "Oh, I fed this one person. You know, I fed this one person. So you know, I'm a good person." So I was thinking, you know, since I don't know how my schedule is gonna work out, but I was thinking perhaps we should be like guerrilla style, going different places and making these human connections And we've talked about this, the backpack idea, where a bunch of sandwiches, I know, fruits, vegetables, and all that stuff, and just go with it. Justin, you know, even though we're not a recognized, whatever, illegal nonprofit entity, we could still be getting donations from places like Dollar General. He got donations from Dollar General, and it was like a bunch of food, well, junk food, whatever. But yeah, I mean, this stuff could happen. We just need to do the legwork and ask the right people. Because the other thing we could be doing is the fucking calendar. That's one of the idea that kind of just left in the horizon. The calendar being that we have a specific date set out for Operation Feed the Homeless. Let's say every 2 weeks or whatever, every 2 weeks of a month, and you know, ask for some sponsors that are local and are willing to donate maybe $5, $10 for some ad space. That's something that we need to be doing too, you know. And the whole garden idea, you know, once everybody gets here together, I want to give you the backgrounder as to why I had to abandon the idea. Not because I, you know, chose to be selfish and be like, you know, fuck this shit. No, it's just like there was one too many things that left me hanging, and I was just thinking, wow, you know, like I've already spent $100 and nothing has come out of it, and people are just telling me, yeah, we'll do it, and it never happened. And that's okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. All I'm saying is, if one person becomes the figurehead, it's a bottleneck. It has to be like a real big coalition. And, you know, I know that, Dago, yourself, you're doing something, you know, with brainstorming for a future music show. And I want that to happen. I want us to be in contact. You know, Leslie, I really don't know what's happening on your end. So I'm going to stop talking and just ask you what's up, what's happening on your end.
Right now, I really haven't been able to focus on like what's going on with the scene or like Operation Feed the Homeless. I haven't been able to make the past 2 Operation Feed the Homeless because of personal reasons, and that's mainly why I came on this group chat today to see what's going on with that, and also because I never really heard back from the garden and stuff like that. So mainly right now, I'm just trying to, you know, get back in within the loop of what's going on currently.
Right. And it's okay, you know, like honestly, like I even though it kind of sound like an asshole and I sound stern and be like, you gotta be there. It sounds kind of two-faced that I'm like, no pressure. But then I tell you, hey, you gotta be there. No, really think about it. Like there is no moral obligation outside of your own free choice to do these things. It's just that if we're gonna voice a support or do committed to something, you know, let's be honest and say, no, I can't do it, or I can't do that. Just to use an example, and maybe it might be petty, but I don't want to hear like I can't make a virtual meetup because I don't have a Gmail account. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You don't need a Gmail account. Right?
There are some folks like, yeah, you made a Gmail account, right, Leslie?
I didn't make one. I already had one, but you don't need one to be in the virtual meetup.
Well,
Yeah, but people would say that. People would say that. They would tell me, no, well, you know, I don't have an account. I don't have this, so I can't make it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, you know, Leslie, what do you want to do? Because you're in Laredo, and I mean, what do you want to do? If not the Operation Feed the Homeless, what works for you? What do you think of doing?
Hey, look, because yeah, let's ask a couple questions here.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm gonna turn it over to Erica, and then like the whole deal is like, tell us what happened in the last Operation Feed the Homeless, and what do you think we need, and what needs to be improved.
Okay, hi guys. Can you hear me first of all?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Operation Feed the Homeless was great. We probably fed maybe 60 people, I would say, in the downtown area. And then we took over the leftovers to Bethany. We didn't have enough drinks. We had like 1 case of water, which was interesting because we usually always have a surplus in that.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything was good. What I wanted to do was make it more mobile and see if people would be willing to volunteer their vehicles or bikes or whatever to go around different parts of the city in the future. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mic check.
Hello.
Check.
Mic check.
I can hear Erica and I can hear Dago.
Okay, no, all right, sorry. No, that's what. Joe, Ben, are you there? I can hear you, and I swear to God,
Okay.
one more Harambe meme, and your ass is toasted.
What
No,
memes, bro? No, I just wanted to say that. Good job. Good job. It's good to hear.
Good job.
You're doing awesome. I'm proud. Proud to
so
be even in this group with
Hey
y'all.
guys.
Hey, yo,
I'm gonna mute myself again because I'm in the car with fam.
cool, fam. Who are you? Who's that kid? Do I know you?
John goes, LFT made it. Probably did.
Brian, this is your gang, dude. Initiation. We're gonna put your 3 points right here. Pato Locos forever.
What's the more light complected version of Hector doing?
No, he'll be burned. He'll be burned by life. No, but seriously though, that's what we were talking about. The other part of this is that the reason I invited Brian is because we really want to push the children. We really want to talk to the kids and see what's happening with them. So in a couple of minutes after I'm done talking, I'm going to pass it over to Brian and I just ask him a couple of questions. But to finalize with what Erica is saying, the vehicles things is very important, and we should really do we should look at the map of Laredo and say, okay, these are the known places where we know that there's homeless people. So let's spread out in a group of 2 or 3 and go with the backpack or with the vehicle and just start giving out food to these people. And and it's unfortunate, but we haven't been able to capture their stories. But I'm sure 3-5 minutes of, hey, here's your food, tell us what's happening, what's going on, what do you need it, how's the city hassling. And the video that I mentioned from Gordi Loca, which I don't like saying her name, the city hall has been aggressive about dumping people's trash. Like they say, oh, you can't have that, even if it's your blanket, your trash can, or whatever it is, you can't have it. So we might have to do city hall appearances once again and start talking to them. Hey, we are Laredo Freethinkers, we've been here before, what are we going to do to help these people? We can't just be pushing them aside. It's a very important issue. So if I will implore you guys, whichever, whenever you guys are in town or you have the time for it, make an appointment, make a schedule to go to City Hall and, 3 or 5 minutes of here's my opinion and then walk out and, see what comes from there. I know that there's a city council member who is able to, I forgot his name, but he looks kind of weird and creepy. Once I remember his name, I'll tell you that he'll be willing to work with you. So even if, as an anarchist, all I'm thinking about is making alliances with anyone who's willing to do these things without using violence or any coercion. But that's my spiel. Hey, Brian, can you tell us what's important in your world? What's happening as a kid in this new world?
Well, I don't know.
I'm already bored. Come on, go. Come on, Brian. You're in the seat. Hot seat.
You have to be specific. What do you want me to talk about?
Okay. What's important to you outside of school and outside of your mom and all that? Our mom. What's important to you? What's happening with the young kids of today?
Outside of my family, all of us kids.
Yeah. Give us a perspective.
Well, us kids, we just want to live alone. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Okay.
And sometimes, some kids, yeah, they will just want to leave home.
What will make you stay? Leave home in Laredo or leave home entirely to another house? What do you mean by that?
I don't know how to say that, but leave home, just leave home. Because right here it's kind of boring, a lot.
There you go.
My mom yells a lot. Right now I don't know if you can tell, but my brother Yessi, he's just playing his PS4 and he's screaming right now.
No, I can't tell, but don't worry about him. He's a goner. The thing is that the reason I ask you, Brian, is because yeah, I understand that your kids are bored and whatever, but what would be a fun activity, something that we can do? You've been to Operation Feed the Homeless, so you know what's happening.
It's really tart, but I like it.
What could be a good thing for what would get other kids interested in doing things like that? Do you have an idea on that?
And they put it in the middle.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to linger on this point. Just
Mom.
Do you want to be more involved in this part of this community? Would you be willing to talk to friends to come check out the Operation Feed the Homeless?
Yeah.
What do you think will be like if? Remember last time? What will be better for to bring more friends and to keep them there in the event?
Like, like to be more specific, like be more specific.
Okay, so you come to the event and you play with Yasmin's son, right? And you had a fun time hanging out.
Yeah.
But if you brought friends that were your age, what would they want? What would they need to stay there having fun and being free?
Usually they're iPods and iPads.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do that. We don't wanna. Honestly, I think that when you do that, you just turn into a zombie. And I've told you this before. We want kids to actively participate in reality. We don't want them to be stuck there eating their fucking McDonald's and looking at the fucking iPhone. That's not something I want. Feel me, dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you think when we're gone from this activity, when we have this virtual meetup, what I want you to do throughout the week is just have some general ideas, write down like, oh, this will be a fun game to play together. Like, remember when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, things like that don't require technology, just things that make people come together and have fun, but that are kid friendly in your age. Because I don't want to just give you games that I think will be fun. Think of games that will be fun for all these little group of friends, and then we'll invite them to Operation Feed the Homeless. You know, that's your personal homework. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
I'm thinking, what about face painting for children? What
Ooh.
about like football? Maybe a little basketball court setup. Maybe ice cream. Kids love ice cream. You say ice cream, you got them in your hand, son. Maybe like, I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe fresh.
band too.
Maybe fruits, like fresh fruits
Can you
to
guys
hand out to
hear
the
what's
children.
going on, or is that just me?
Candy.
Say it again. No, not candy, dude. Candy. Candy's a good idea.
I like the face painting. I like the face painting idea. You know why? Because it will be inclusive of artists. Imagine if you had an Operation Feed the Homeless where we still do these things and we go around town with different groups, but the hometown will be downtown, and we invite different local artists who want to practice on real people, and they can face paint whatever, Spider-Man, Batman, or whatever, and just make it more fun. Whatever the hell you're playing, please stop.
Yo, how about starting like an authentic appreciation, man, towards our art? You see, like every time when a new culture gets adopted, man, we always fucking eat it like watermelon and spit out the seeds. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe you have all these people walking Gallery 201, man, who are like willing. Some of them are willing to pay for fucking art off the wall. So how about we take that concept and we fuck the gallery, man? Like if you want, we can invest in wood, and all these kids, man, that are doing time in, let's say, juvenile hall or step academy, whatever. If they have let's say minor offenses with vandalism, tagging, whatever, give these kids a canvas to go to work on, man. They can display their art. They can have a signature, and then for any one of the bourgeoisies who wants to come and prove their authenticity through buying art, they can buy this authentic piece from like a kid who actually felt law enforcement through doing his art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. We can push the envelope by actually doing a chalking contest. Like we can invite kids and artists to start chalking on the pavement, and it has to be washable chalk. We may have to talk to the city and let them know, hey, don't worry about it. We're not gonna fuck your shit up. So it'll be cool.
Music and art are always great ideas for getting people together.
Yeah, but the idea is that these kids who are doing something in correctional facilities, that they have an actual piece of canvas which they can sell. If it or people can auction for or whatever. Like if it doesn't sell, okay, either way the kid got his art displayed. But if we have that possibility where let's say a kid from I don't know, man, from fucking Cigaroa or something, you know what I'm saying? You give them
taking their art home.
Yeah, you give him a piece of 4x5, and you let him have at it. He can even put his signature in the bottom.
Oh, dude,
Dude, what if we
Dude.
get canvases and sell it and use the profit for the group?
dude, arty party. What the fuck are you talking about? Arty party, arty party, arty party. So the idea is basically what you guys are saying. Arty party will be we guys collectivize resources, buy these canvases, and while we're doing the operation to feed the homeless, or if it doesn't even have to be an operation to feed the homeless, it could be an arty party in itself where we just like, hey, this is the time, come by. We're gonna have pay like all you require needs and whatever. Come, draw, and just enjoy the time. It would be a nice Saturday. It could be a nice Saturday, like maybe in the morning or mid afternoon when it's not hot, and people just start painting and drawing and like doing all these things, and then they can take that home and really, really appreciate the time and memories that they had. We should really do an arty party. I mean, I'm serious. I'm down for that. I would go and I'll be like, yay,
DTF for that, bro.
dude, yes, arty party. But like, we need to be conscious about what we're doing too, because
Absolutely. There's probably gonna be, law enforcement trying to get us in a little loophole. Like, oh well, how are you gonna dispose of these canisters or whatever? We need to have
the trash can, dude.
Yeah.
don't make life difficult. Like, oh, I need police to run my life.
Dude, what if we have like a petting zoo?
What do I think? It's a Harambe joke. Okay, like serious. No, like let's dwell on this arty party idea for a little bit, and then we move on. So it doesn't feel like a hurricane. I really think we should do the arty party because it will actually make it a community. It will give the sense of a community, and it's not going to be hard to do it because we only need the art supplies. And once we start hanging out and doing these things more often, we can introduce real political messages. I mean, because I'm sure that you guys are following different ideas and different news stories and whatever. But, locally, there's some people who are very upset that George Altgeld was not able to get in the ballot and all this stuff. And and we can use that. We can use that as a platform where it's not like, let's be angry. No, let's just be conscious about these ideas, talk about these topics, and start drawing. Or people will be even inspired to do like political cartoons or political drawings. And we still have the people of Laredo or things like that where we can just start pushing these things. Just because we're like focusing in different things doesn't mean we can't aggregate it in a centralized location and spread this information like that. I'm down for that. I was thinking maybe October or November we do an arty party. That'd be great.
How much, it should be cheap too, man. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Lowe's or Home Depot has a shitload of, like, thin plywood.
Right. Or, I mean...
What do we need plywood for?
No, we're doing canvases. Like, we're doing canvases. But I'm saying that if we can't find money enough to make canvases, we can make our own by going to Lowe's and, just constructing them. But even if...
I used to dumpster dive for those, what do you call them? Those,
2x4s?
Those pieces of wood? No, those pieces of wood outside that they would put all the stuff on top.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But even if we don't get enough money, we could still like ask people, because I know that there's some artists here in the local community. Some of them are kind of just ego-minded, but we can ask them, bring your canvas, bring your own canvas to the canvas party, to the arty party. Like people say,
I have a canvas I can bring.
Yeah, there you go. Bring your own canvas party.
It's a small one though.
It's cool as long as you
like
can draw something.
2x4.
But like again, like the idea of this, man, is because you see it here, man. Okay, look, this is all a process of like fake innovation. All people do in towns that used to be like industrious or whatever, and now they have like downtown re-innovation programs and all that shit. What they'll do is basically they'll take like a blue collar identity or a local identity, like fucking when a whole bunch of East Coast businesses started moving into Austin, all they did was really all they really did was like take the identity of like barbecue and like blues rock, and then they started making money out of that. So, but the thing is that right now we have an opportunity, man, with our home city that people aren't paying attention to right now, and they will. Man, as we speak right now, man, like people are ironically like doing Spanish commands with their dogs. Like you'll see a white dude here be like, "Hey, Roscoe, calmate, calmate," and like chicks would think that's hot. There's like a market for that already.
Really?
Yes.
Oh
So
man, I've been out of the game for too long.
yeah, everyone's like that from her. So
Hey, I could be chola, man. I could be chola. Hey, ese, órale.
the thing is that we already understand that there's going to be an interest for it later. Everyone's listening to Santana now. Everyone's watching Selena. But like the thing is that we're giving locals put a stamp on it before. You see that? Where you're not going to buy like a crying Joker painting from a dude named Todd who lives in Richmond, Virginia. You're gonna buy it from like another dude named Jesus who like smokes fucking cigarillos every day.
Nasty habit.
And that's the authenticity that's gonna sell.
You know, even if it doesn't sell, like I know because you're focusing on the commercial aspect. You know, even if it doesn't sell, even if it does sell, because if we do enough,
not sell like in a profit way, not at all. Like
I mean like the message. You know, okay, all right, sorry.
In a legitimized way, yeah.
No, because
Like,
also
I don't want to focus on like or put like efforts. I don't know. It's like why focus on? Wait, what? Who's talking?
Excuse me.
Why focus on like somewhat of like an artificial / temporary energy that's circulating?
Well,
like,
no, that's why I want to make it more concrete, because an arty party is something that is almost as like a surreal experience where people are able to talk freely and openly. That's what I want to push. That's something that
soapboxes. Like instead of a booth, we do soapboxes. Get your designated soapbox.
I mean,
stand on the fucking milk crate.
There's these the freaking downtown has these benches. We could just sit down and like just be right there, drawing and stuff. Trust me, like I really think that the arty party will bring people together and will be like, hey, you know, I met that guy, or because in our events, people start talking and they actually meet up with one another. So,
like you remember when we met with Two Dope Dave? When he took to that like back room where he probably hired like a bunch of like I don't know like synthetic. I don't fucking know. Anyway, it's still a back room with yarn. You remember that? And like he's like, make yourselves at home next to these fucking pins.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I remember.
Remember how that dude would earn money from fucking his events? Like he'd be like, oh okay, like if an organization wants a booth, they're gonna have to pay this. Well, here's the thing: is that we don't need to have a hefty fee like that. Instead of a booth, we just make it a mark to do soapboxes. Just like just take it back to like the fucking 1950s coffee houses. If you had something to say, you got a milk crate or you got a soapbox and you stood on it. So like maybe if other organizations want to take part of Laredo Free Thinkers organization, they can probably let's charge them like what, like $10, maybe even $8, and they can have their own soapbox, meaning they can have like their own dude stand and be an orator. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Maybe we can like what I was thinking. Like once the final process of the arty party, let's say we already have some really good contestants who have really good art. I mean, we can get the people from Gallery 201 to do an art showing, because they always do art showings, and we could have like an art expose of people who came from the Laredo Free Thinkers, showed up to the party or whatever, and if instead of like buying the painting itself, you're like, if you buy this painting, you're like giving $10 to Operation Feed the Homeless, and you know we've been established, we have history, we've been on local media, we've been doing this for a very long time, so we don't have to work on credibility anymore. We've already had a very good standing.
Okay,
so
yeah, that's good. But like, how about this? Look, like, and it's good that we work with Gallery 201. We want to support each other, but why don't we basically become like not this catch-all system, not the ideological way, but a catch-on the mediums that we use. Basically that, okay, man, if basically let's dip our toes on everything. Like if you want to be inside of a historic building with great lighting and great snacks, go to Gallery 201, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's not a sellout thing. But if you want to be in the outside with like let's say cheap beer and just like a good hangout spot, and you want the act of seeing art too, well, that's our take on it. And it's the same with like let's say let's say Galactic Frontera or whatever. We need to be up there with them too. We gotta like throw our events. So like,
I don't know, because they're kind of ego-minded fools, just trying to be
like,
superficial.
I'm not talking about collaborating with them. I'm saying the same aspect where you take a piece of Gallery 201 and we make it our expression. We take a piece of like I mean, we've been doing it. They didn't do it first. We actually started around the same time. Like basically, we kind of already got that covered. We have our take on our events. I mean, people like, dude, we're known for everyone like smoking blunts in our events. Like that's what we're known as. Like, we pretty much got a lockdown on that already. Like people salivate.
The same. I don't.
That's kind of like, all right, don't shoot him down. I mean, like, the guy is still talking.
We're not gonna let him do it, though. We're not gonna let him do that. Like, we're known for that. So basically, we already have the grounds, the standing for that. So now, where else can we take it? Maybe we can take it to a podcast round too. Erica, I know you want to work with a podcast.
I mean, look at this. Seriously, Roundtable right now. This is live streaming to YouTube. We should be talking about local issues. We should be talking about different things. Like, all right, so Leslie, Ben, Erica, Dago, all of you guys, what we should be doing every 2 weeks right now, think about personal news items, things that are local, national, bring them to the table. We'll discuss it 15 minutes before the show, and we call it the LAREDO Free Thinkers, or we call it something else. And 30 minutes, you know, we have a roundtable discussion of what's happening locally, how we can apply it globally, and then that's how we're going to do the show. We can do it on YouTube. We don't have to have a fancy ass computer, and then we edit it and then we post it. That's what we got to keep doing. We got to be in the news media again and again. Always be in the YouTube, on the Facebook, and be showing that stuff. Because, okay, so we get our 5 minutes of glory in like Pro 8 News or Univision or Televisa or whatever the fuck it is. That's their snippet. That's their blurb. Let's do something that talks to us, that we gets the full understanding. Because when we talk about the LAREDO Free Thinkers, I had this like big obstacle where you're like, well, why would you do that? Or what's the real reason? Like you're not going to get the whole philosophy of anarchy in action in 5 minutes from a local news show. And it's like, it gives a lot of publicity, but sometimes it brings in the wrong people because they think it's just kind of like it's a social club where we just get to hang out. And yeah, that there's that aspect, but we do have a lot of work to do. So who's down for the round table discussion? I can set it all up. I can come up with a title, or we can come back forth and do the group chat and just be swinging ideas of what to call it, you know? And sometimes it doesn't have to be a full cast. It could just be, you know, Erica, Dago, Leslie, whatever, you know, interchanging, you know? And we have a topic and we just go with it. What do you guys think about that?
That's good.
Sounds good.
Like a pre-panel, basically.
What do you guys think about this? Oh, I think this is good. I think this is bad. And then you guys go on and on and on. I'm like, no, I disagree with you. No, I'm sure that this is some a substantial amount of things we can talk about and really do good. You know, just locally talk about these things. But Erica, what is your issue? What do you think? Is this taking the wrong direction?
I think it's a good idea. I just think like LAREDO Free Thinkers in general is I mean, it's like, okay, it's about the individualist, right? And it's about like each person contributing whatever they feel they can and whatever they want to do with it. It could go in a million different directions. But I guess there just hasn't been, like, I mean, this is the first time we have a meetup, and I'm dealing with some things personally, so I haven't been like as active as I would like to be, and I haven't had a chance to push forward certain projects.
Right.
So thinking about doing like a roundtable type of podcast, I mean, that's right up my alley. I'm down for it. And I mean, we could kind of start off very informal and, you know, just doing things like that. But I think it'd be cool to like elaborate a little bit more on the agenda and like, I don't know, I guess really see like a concrete, like who would really actually be willing to be involved in this. Locally speaking, I mean, like Leslie's here. Who's this other guy? Hi, Joe. Who are you?
That's Ben. That's Harambe.
Dude.
Please stop infecting me with your goddamn memes.
Wait,
I
that's.
just
Oh yeah,
listening.
it is.
No, look. Okay, well, what the fuck's going on here? What the fuck's going on here? I don't know what's going on. No, look. Seriously, it's true, but it. Oh fuck! Just a minute. Fuck. Just a minute here, because I got some problems happening here.
Excuse me, I burped.
So, what are we discussing right now?
Who's that? Just kidding.
I know a squealer when I see one.
Oh, look, the problem that I had talked earlier is about the central figurehead is a bottleneck. Yes, this thing could go a million different ways, and like I said before Erica joined us, you can't fully know when someone's committed unless they actually hit the road and do the thing. Some time ago, you had asked me why I had dropped the community garden. The reason I had dropped the community garden is because a lot of these folks who were like, they told me straightforward, I'm going to be committed. I'm going to do these things. Go ahead, use my lot, start doing these things. I start doing it. I start investing money into it. And, 2-3 weeks go by, and then they just drop me cold handed. They say, well, we can't do that. Get rid of it. We just can't. And I'm like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, we're not going to be making people sign contracts. I think we need to be doing this roundtable discussion like every 2 or 3 weeks. And this is where the podcast needs to really get going, because at least that way we're going to have an informal way of knowing where we are actually thinking and what we're doing. And, maybe we'll be willing to connect with one another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be local, because, okay, Erica, you're doing the Operation Feed the Homeless and other people are doing it too. But we could still, Dago is still trying to do the music show and something that we can get together all at once. And at the other end of this, I'm trying to work on the T-shirts, on the design, on the logo for it. I mean, I could still be doing a lot of things. So that's another idea. Get the T-shirts, get all these things done, and we don't necessarily have to be physically meeting with each other. We really need to be talking about podcast. That's the best way we can do brainstorming sessions and keep a record, a track of where we're going and what the direction is. Because that's another issue I've been pushing always and always. I ain't no leader. I'm not here to be a leader. I want other people to lead, So, I would love it if Leslie would be heading over the arty party. I mean, or anyone like her, her friends or whatever. That would be great.
I just say to get an approval, man. Basically, not even an approval, but just to keep it updated. We can all coordinate better.
Yeah, no, seriously. If we have a video cast and we can look it over and be like, oh, this is what she said and that's what she said, yeah. And I do have to apologize. I just get kind of overly aggressive. I'm not angry or mad. I'm just really trying to push all these ideas. So don't take me the wrong way. Anyway, so yeah, that's where we need to go. So we're settled on at least one thing. We're doing the podcast 2 or 3 weeks, right? On a monthly basis.
Sure.
So about the podcast, you see, basically, maybe we can do this thing where basically if this podcast plays local music, let's say, let's say we get. Great. Yeah, man, we play Mud Rivers music, Two Lions music, Fresh Records, whatever the case. And we can have it we'll have it as a ratio, basically. We're 75% of the stuff that goes on the air is going to be local. The other percentage, we can have fucking, I don't know, categories of down-tempo Saturday night or whatever the fuck it is. But, everything will be local. That would provide people more incentive. Who the fuck is on that podcast,
Yeah, and we can get some hosts. We can get some guests from people who are actually active in the community. Get them on the show and say, "Hey, what's going on? Tell us what's happening with you. Whatever, all that stuff."
That'd be good.
I'd also be pretty interested in doing a little bit. Whoa, sorry.
Come again?
Yeah. I am actually pretty interested in doing a little bit of talking about the actual philosophy that Laredo Freethinkers stemmed from, and what pages are we all on? How are we evolving in that philosophy? Are we evolving in that direction? What's going on with that? I think it's important to talk a little bit more about that, because it kind of like provides a common thread between all the people that are being involved in this community, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like we can bring in a topic that is very hot and steamy.
Involving people is going to be like the main focus, because you know we want to get the community involved. So Erica, like I was thinking, like next time you do an Operation Feed the Homeless, you know, there's always people that come in with these big donations, or you know, these interesting people that come along, and maybe inviting them to come do a segment on the podcast and letting them express, you know, what they saw firsthand, and that will get their friends to watch or hear the podcast, and then so on and so forth. So we need to, if we're going to invite local artists music to the podcast, have these artists come out and help us out for an Operation Feed the Homeless. Let them experience it firsthand, and then go back to the podcast and be like, hey, you know, this is our music. This is what we thought of Operation Feed the Homeless. We invite all of y'all to go out to the next one, you know, getting the community involved, because it can't just be behind closed doors all the time. We need to start letting people in to this, you know.
Yeah, and I will add to that. I think that's a great point. I think it's not so much like a lack of what would I say? Like, it's not that, you know, it's a lack of inclusiveness. I think it's more of like a lack of time that we've been putting into it to actually send that invitation to the community. So yeah, I think if we have one or two people that are willing to make it more of a priority, then more people could definitely be invited. And bringing up like whoever gives the monetary donations, whoever asked about it. I mean, I could think of at least a dozen people who have asked about it, or who have actually donated money that haven't actually like attended physically. So yeah. I mean, that's a great point. I'll definitely make it more of an effort next time around to have these people come and see, like, get involved personally.
You know, a good person to start off for, just, you know, just to, I think one of the threads that I got from this conversation for as a guest for our next podcast is Justin White. He has a good following with 2 Lions, and he actually has attended the Operation Feed the Homeless, and he has brought in donations from, you know, local businesses. Maybe we can have him on, talk about how he did it and what he did and what he should recommend and what his experiences were in Operation Feed the Homeless. Things like that we need to really be focused in. And, you know, not only one person has to be the donation thing. I mean, we, like I said, calendar will be a good idea, and other ideas, just, I don't know, generally speaking to other people. If we, I can't stress this enough. If we put a one central figurehead where it's just like, well, you do this and you do that, then it kind of just slows down, because there's one person who is assumed to have the delegated responsibility. We don't want one person to have one delegated responsibility. All people can come and go. And, you know, I know it's like, this is kind of like a catch-22, you know, when it comes to the philosophy of what we're doing. The catch-22 is that we're everywhere all at once, like the river, and that's okay. We're going to return to the source. The problem is that we get so lost in thinking like the other people, thinking like the mainstream society, and saying, well, we have to be rigid, dogmatic, and we have to have a construct, a formal agenda. I don't think we should do that. I think we should be more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But see, that's why, like, touching on the ideology would be great, because, and I'll tell you right now, man, like, I'm not an anarchist, but
break my heart.
If you dissolve, I'll work on free Medicare to get it.
Oh, please, let's make this a conversation about that.
Yeah, I know. So, okay, man, but I do believe that we're all sharing this mentality of, look, man, whether the collective can get it fixed or not, we are a collective. So basically, we just, like, that's the thing, we're taking it upon ourselves. It's really just, we do believe in a self-sufficiency. Obviously, we're here. We obviously believe in some kind of virtue that, like, willpower has, because we're here.
But self-sufficiency within the community, I think, is very important, because like, you know, I've been to to poetry slams where I've seen Erica and Brenda go up to people and like ask for donations for Operation Feed the Homeless. And I don't know how that went last time, Erica, but I thought it was a very good idea, you know, just showing up or letting these people be a part of what we're doing, just so that the word can be spread out even, you know, more immensely with other kind of people in our community, because we want to include everyone in our community, because that's what we're trying to benefit, you know, the community itself. So we need to think as in a one big group, instead of, you know, trying to separate ourselves from Gallery 201 or the Galactic Frontera, because all of those people have also been helping us and spreading the word for us as well.
No, but that's the thing, is that I'm not putting it in the context of trying to outdo them. I'm saying that for us to be an alternative, you see, Laredo is growing, and if we want it to grow, it's not going to be like a growth if we're like, these guys do that, that guy does that, whatever. See, that's why it'll be good for us to start off in this generality of a net. We already got our toes in the concerts. We have our toes in the gallery, which we can transition to that plywood idea, and we can potentially have our toes in a podcast. So you see, is that we are providing a variety. I'm not saying Gallery 201 is for sellouts or Galactic Frontera is like this or that. I'm just saying that we're going to be an alternative. We're going to be an entity. You see that? And people can go where they want. That's okay.
See, that the thing is, when we talk about collective, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. It's that we forget that we're a collective of free individuals. A collective of free individuals doesn't necessarily function as a collective of drones. A collective of drones would just be one direction. A collective of free individuals is a free-form, spontaneous, dynamic order. So yeah, I mean, we should work with everyone, and we shouldn't be excluding them. And, you know, it's great that Erica and Brenda go around in a poetry slam and ask for donations. That's really good, because sometimes, you know, the poetry slam has allowed for us to advertise for our events.
Yeah.
And we really need to do more flyers, you know? That's something I can be doing too, you know, providing more flyers and print them out. And, you know, once in a while when we go to these shows or events, we start pushing our stuff. Because, you know, like, it's cool that everybody else is doing these things, and they're pretty well established, and we can do a lot of bigger things if we all come together as a whole community, you know, and tackle all these big issues.
Hector, you were saying that it'd be good. Well, maybe it'd be better for us to get our own outlooks and stuff on like basic principles, and we can do that with current topics. We can also, let's do that with observations. Like, okay, so this is an observation, and I want to know what you guys think of this. Is that here, the campus life here, when you have on-campus organizations, they get themselves known through the house parties. Now, I'm not saying to have house parties. This is just strict observatory. They get known through the house parties. People do house parties here, like events. So it started off with, yes, the sole purpose of, I guess, partying. But when people who get a reputation for throwing these awesome parties, when they started to get that reputation, basically you can turn that reputation into now something that's established, something that's organized. And you would have these people who would be like, they would get the best local artists, and everyone was just competing. Who was going to have the best event? They all respected each other. Who's going to have the best? And as a result, now you see where there's kind of like this, I mean, as petty as it can be sometimes, it's a bunch of, you know, a lot of teenagers and people in their early 20s. It's very beautiful to see how this system kind of worked, this very complex system worked itself out all through competition with each other. And that's weird because like that follows a lot of like free market principles. That follows a lot of these like let people do what they must and shit will align, you know, it falls into that. So like, what do you guys feel about that? Like, what do you guys think that says about the individual incentive to just do something?
I think several people dropped out the call.
Awesome. There's someone behind you. The dude who slammed the door.
Ah,
And then, as I was saying, guys, Muhammad, like, so, like, what are you
I
gonna
have
do?
like a headache thinking about like how the productivity of our group is gonna like push forward.
But, yeah, man. Yeah,
I guess it's just not preferable.
we have to get a label first. Is that if you go to physical structure and there's
I mean, I
no
guess we don't need it, but the thing is, like, people, it's like a hurdle that we have to cross. If people are going to be a part, want, like, this is appealing to them, like, why is it appealing? Is it, wait, I'm sorry, what?
because they need something stable. When
But is it,
someone finds interest in something, they're expecting continuity and consistency,
Oh
so
yeah.
so that they can match their agenda with ours. They can match their dates with ours.
yeah,
So that's what we need.
like, we need a little bit, we need to be more consistent.
Exactly.
Hey
Like
guys,
So
what do you what do you think about like throwing some type of cook-off competition to feed the homeless?
yeah, I'm down for that. I'll cook them
Because everyone's
bomb
talking
ass food.
about competition and all that stuff. We can maybe raise money to throw maybe $50 at the top chef, and we have people voting, but it's mainly to feed the homeless. Like all the proceeds, the leftovers, like
That's
we take
awesome.
donations,
That's a
maybe
good
like
idea.
hey, $5 donation for everyone to come in. I don't know, maybe take a donation if they want to be a judge. Who knows? We'll find a way to profit off of this. But we have like a
Great
cook-off.
idea.
We have a cook-off, and we have all the chefs, like renowned people. Just invite anybody that likes to cook, and have them have a cook-off. And all the food will go to the homeless.
these secret
I love it. I
ingredients,
think
man.
that's
Like if you like
Acid.
mango.
Acid is a secret ingredient.
Mushroom, bro.
For
Mushroom,
real, dog.
dog.
For real, dog. No, but seriously,
Don't forget about
when we say consistency and stability and all that stuff, what do we really mean by that? And then the other thing is that, yeah, that's what you want in a car. You want stability and consistency in a car. But when you're in a community, what are you looking for? You'd like to be intrigued, motivated, challenged, and I hate to say it, but sometimes that stability can be stagnating. Like I know the Houston Free Thinkers has gone through these things. It's not particular to us. They've gone through a motion of just being stagnant and not moving and not growing, and that happens when there's only a certain individuals promoting and organizing and meeting up. I mean, we should have. Yeah, this is a roundtable discussion, but we should also use it as as an opportunity to start switching roles. Not necessarily that I'm saying that Erica is not doing a great job doing the Operation Feed the Homeless. It's just that maybe one of these days somebody else, should be focusing or doing these things. Be like, hey, show us what you can do or something like that. That's what we should be doing. Like, what I have found why the reason that people find LAREDO Free Thinkers to be such a great idea or why they get interested is because it's not regular community social club hangout dynamics. It's not. It's something very different, and you really have to be there to try to understand it. But I think when you guys say consistency, I think when you guys mean like we should continue like have meetups and do more activism every so often. I think that's what you guys mean. Or do you guys mean by
Yeah,
consistency
definitely.
and principles?
No,
I'm
I mean,
not
that's the
saying that.
consistency we're
Yeah.
talking about for sure.
It's just that
No doubt.
even in the most micro of things, there has to be a plan. Like, okay, as I was saying with the campuses here, even though they started off as petty as we just want to make a good house party, there was still kind of a long term scope there. Now we can make that long term scope 2 months. Now, if we want to be spontaneous, where like the 2 months ends, and then we give people another, or maybe like for the next 30 days, next month we'll have a scope. But the thing is that we need to kind of have always a foot planned already, because like if
Look, I think what we're describing is a worry that there's
Rude.
not enough manpower or enough support to do some of the things that we want to do. So what are the solutions to that? Okay, Leslie already mentioned we need to get the word out for more people for Operation Feed the Homeless, but we're talking about different ideas here. The podcast, we're going to be totally fine. I mean, all of us can talk up a shitstorm. So like
hope
we're
not.
gonna be okay.
I hope we don't have to talk a shitstorm. I hope we can talk about some real stuff. I mean, like, it's like I don't want to
You know
talk a
what I mean?
shitstorm.
Not like talk shit, but I think I mean, like what Ben's saying, like this like whole cook-off thing, like that's to me that's like a fucking badass idea. Like, you know, do it, dude, make it happen. Like I'll support you. I'll like try to help.
Yeah,
like,
don't put it
invite
on
people.
Erica. Like Ben, you suggested that shit. Man up,
I
dude.
know,
Man up.
I know. Let me make a little bit of income so I can find an award to give a chef or something.
Dude,
I'm
dude.
donating plasma right now, bro, to get money, dog.
Dude,
I
you
am
don't
like
need money,
super
like
desperate.
You don't need
you don't
money.
need money to make that happen at all.
Just have an
Like,
idea, a general plan of things. How, okay, if I were to throw a contest, it's like throwing a party. If I were to throw a contest, here's an idea, here's a memorandum, here's what I want. Because that's no issue. That's no big issue. If you guys came out with a memorandum of understanding, that would be great. It's what Dago is trying to get across. That's cool. We get a memorandum of understanding, and then people freely associate and want to do these ideas with however team or whatever they want. So if Ben comes up with this contest, like, okay, guys, I wrote it down, one page, simple, here it is. I'm gonna throw it out there. That's what we want. You know, we don't want, like, I really don't want baseless ideas where it's just like, okay, let me throw the stuff out there, see what else other people are gonna do. No, if you're gonna suggest it, if you really want to see this, you don't need money, dude. Just get that shit in writing and like post it on the Facebook or make a fucking post about it, and we'll follow through with that, because that's the best way to do this. Because the micro plan that you're talking about, I mean, it doesn't go against my principles, it doesn't go against my lifestyle. All I'm saying is do a write-up, do the memorandum of understanding, and then we can go from there. It'd be great if we do the things like that. That way we don't have to be like, she said to do this and she said to do that.
We are the United Nations. We're all the sovereign nations.
Yeah, well.
At Operation
Hitler.
Feed the Homeless, I guess the reason why we keep going back to that is because like that's like really what's been going on in the community like right now. But there's two girls that are really active in it, and like I almost feel like I wouldn't need to show up and they could make that happen. Like it's not something I'm worried about, like, oh, it's just 100%. Like if I don't show up, nothing's gonna happen. Like, no, I don't really think that. Like they would have still gone, they would still show up, there'd still be food, like cool.
Do you have books in this, like a book
yeah,
drive while you're doing Operation Feed the Homeless?
We should bring them
just,
to the fold. We
I
should
thought
interview
it'd
them.
be important to try to like get them more involved or like encourage them to where I'm at. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Most definitely.
Ben's idea thing, continue with that. What would be cool is like if we to cook their meal, right, and like I don't know, whatever, set it up however you're gonna set it up. Like initially, like they're gonna donate like their resource meal and to have it judged. I would or think that that'd be more practical. And then like the donations, people could come and like give donations, and those donations could be used to replicate that meal, the meal of the winner, like at a later date or something, you know?
Right, like the winning plate, the winning meal deal. And you know what? Also on the flip side, this would be a really good positive idea, because then people are very creative and very intelligent when it comes to making food. They'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make a big casserole and only spend $20. Imagine. Oh, really? And we can learn from them. We can learn from them and like, wow, we don't have to spend like $100 on Operation Feed the Homeless. We can just spend $20 on these items and make enough food for like 30 or 40 people. So yeah, the food contest is very important. And if, you know, whoever really wants to be committed to do it, do the memorandum of understanding, post it. If you have a plan, just so we can recap on what we've already discussed and agreed. If you have a plan, have an idea, write it down on a memorandum of understanding or just a simple, you know, write-up, so that everybody knows what you're trying to do or trying to say, or make a video, 3-5 minutes, and appeal to what an idea is, but have it on record, have it on, so we can look back and say, this is what he meant, this is what he's doing. And, you know, that's what we should be doing, because that's the type of consistency that I would like to expect from you guys. So.
We're like a family, not allowed to be.
I want TP for my butthole.
I'm joining the Hood Clan.
The Quran can be very beautiful.
Oh, I needed a good laugh. I really needed a good laugh. Thanks. Beautiful. Burkas are beautiful. So, I mean, when we're on the same page here, are we cool with that? Antics aside.
Yo, what's on the news? What's on the news, guys?
North Dakota, the pipeline. The Native American tribes uniting to fight it.
Yeah, they got dogs on them now.
Yeah, and it's been going on for a while, and the media is blacking it out, and it's not mentioning anything, and it's saying that these peaceful protesters are actually, are violent and they're trespassing. But when you really think about it, they're actually standing up for something that is important in their community. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm paying attention to.
Building these pipes, man. They were in the process of building them illegally.
They didn't consult with the tribes, and it's like it's their land and it's a sacred site and it's an important thing for their heritage. There was a protest in Houston. You guys, once in a while, checking with the Houston Freethinkers, the page. There was a protest in Houston. If you guys are really interested, they've been trying, because there's an office that is related to the company that is doing this pipeline in Houston, and they've been protesting and getting people together and stuff like that. So if you have friends in Houston, let them know about these protests and demonstrations. They're very important. Nobody else is really touching this. Very few alternative media sites are actually touching on it. They're talking about other things, and the mainstream media is basically just fucking corrupt and lying. But that's what I think is most important in the news. There's other things, like Hillary Clinton and Trump and all that stuff, and you guys are welcome to discuss those things. But
Hey, did you see that protest about these group of people from Texas that decided to dress up as Nazis and go to? That was fucking awesome.
that was
They
a troll.
weren't protesting; they were advocating.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Well, here's the funny thing. Like, if you do some digging, like, how I don't support voting. I don't think any of that is important. But let's just set the record straight. I think it's funny that Hillary Clinton says that Trump is, is advocated by racists and all this stuff. But in fact, if you really do some digging, Hillary Clinton tutor and mentor, one of her best friends, is actually a KKK leader, and she gets support by these KKK leaders. And it's just setting the record straight. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The country's really effed up, and we really have to do grassroots activism to actually change the society that we live in. There's so many things we could do, but the politicians are gonna just not really do the whole job. Just unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
YOLO. Anyways, it's been like an hour. Just let's recap and like finalize what we guys think. Dago, let's start off with you, and then Erica, and then Dan. Leslie. If you guys have any final thoughts, please. This is your moment.
All right. What is that?
I was dancing.
All right, guys. Well, look, my final conclusion are right now we kind of have this bit of gold, and I want to share an inspiring little piece of antidote with you all, because sometimes we just need that little Dr. Seuss effect. Sometimes we just need to hear something that's a fun fact that we can relate to. Now, it's been shown that a lot of culture capitals like San Francisco or Cleveland was one of them, whatever, the magic number of population they reach when it becomes a hotspot is 300,000. Seattle was a population of like 285,000 people in the 90s, and then they became a cultural force. My favorite one is Bristol. Bristol in 1991. Bristol is a town it's the British version of Laredo. You can think of it like that. Basically, they had a magic population of 225,000 people when their city became a music capital and an art capital. Now, the reason this is because this is a very fermented time where a city is just big enough to kind of have some like a taboo, primitive interest on it. It's so fresh, it's so new, and it's small enough. It's small enough for people to have private connections. Okay, so think about it this way. Don't think of it from a corporate stance. I'm talking pure cultural here. They became a cultural force. So right now, the reason it was so successful is because they worked it out as their own identity. Okay, this is something that we can do, and it sounds very very let's fucking shroom under the stars and jack each other up. I fucking know how it sounds like.
Sounds like a wonderful time to me.
I know, right?
Sounds like a really good time.
Like a really good time.
No, well, check this out. What I'm saying is this is something very possible, and we're not talking about using this for let's say a revenue upstream. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this can be a vehicle to finally get a frame of mind out there that's going to give incentive for people to work in their own communities, to spread a philosophy like that, or to just spread a will like that. You see?
No, and it could be a startup too. Like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Like, for example, when people were very angry about the city, well, but the private ranch allowing for people to, for a corporation to dump trash in it or whatever inside of it, poisoning rivers and stuff like that. If we were a really solid community, we could have had like people who are like serious about what they believe in and active and be like, okay, this is the mind of frame that we want to be free and have pure, clean water. We have clean water or whatever, and use that as a launch pad to start actively fighting and combating these things. Wherever there's power, there's resistance. So we have to be the resistance. That's a very important thing. So yeah, I totally am with you. I'm sorry I was laughing. It's just like I read a message and that just got me snickering.
Me too. Look at the message board.
Does this look like awards?
Okay, sorry, I'll be serious for now. What do you think, Erica? What's in your mind? What do you think would be an important issue to bring up? Or whatever you want to say, actually.
Well, I guess where I'm at, like, I like the direction of this meeting. I'm excited about like the few different projects we've been talking about. For me, I've been a little bit taken back by my own personal development and my priorities and what I'm doing. So, I mean, free thinkers, like, I do want to be involved. It's just right now I'm not going to be in the forefront of things, like doing a bunch of stuff because I have some stuff I have to take care of my own. But that's like where I'm at. Whatever you guys are doing, like, I mean, I'm keeping updated and I'll be happy to participate in certain things.
And this round table discussions, they're fun and I really like them because we get to goof around and talk about silly things. And I like being serious and goofy. But at the same time, we could be talking about like issues that are personal to us without giving too much details and be like, okay, this is my perspective of it. We could also be a support group because not only are we just free thinkers and, one of us might be an anarchist, one of us might not be an anarchist. At the end of the day, we can get along and be there for each other, like whether it's spiritual, emotional, psychological, we can be offering each other advice and input on a lot of things. We don't necessarily have to just be all about, serious business. We could be there heart to heart and be talking about real things that affect us. And in that way, we can all move a step closer to becoming more authentic and, aware and a conscious creature. It's very important. That's a good thing you brought up. Ben, not to bring it up to you, and I tell you, please, no more memes or jokes. What do you think is important about this meeting? What are you exciting? What's in your horizon?
This is the badass meeting overall. Got a lot of ideas thrown in. I'm glad y'all like some of my ideas, and I just like to see some of these things going forward. I mean, I don't expect it to be done as soon as possible. Of course, things take time. We just planted seeds now. We need to water these things and take care of them and make sure that everything grows into a beautiful tree. So, I mean,
Categories. Yeah.
That's good to me.
All right. Is Leslie still around or just she just left?
I think she dipped.
Oh man, that's.
I would assume she's having some connection issues because she's kind of been like in and out a little bit.
What if like her webcam were to go on right now and it's just like a little girl like with a knife? It's
Oh,
like,
okay. 'Cause you said webcam, and my mind went totally dirty. I was like, little girl, dude, what the fuck?
get off the Russian sites.
Hey, talking about some real shit. That we're talking about, whatever, child pornography, kind of like things like that. Funny how the government has to break it. Ben has shared this story on his newsfeed about how the government, the DEA and the FBI, they go deep underground in these hidden services in the Tor dark web, and they spread pedophilia, like pedophilic pictures and pornographic pictures of children and stuff, just so they can trap people, just so they can capture them. And it's like, oh, you guys are the evil one. But it's funny how the tactics of government is like they're the evil monster, and just because they're in government and they're the authority, oh, it's okay because they're here to protect us. So I mean, I don't want to just
an economy
and shit like that.
Break to make you pay. Like let's lure these guys in and get that's all.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty difficult, and it's not the first time they've done that. That's how they do it. They honey trap you, and they're virtuous creatures. They had to do it because there's some nasty people out there.
Kids in private, man.
Well, I mean,
Fuck this, guys. I'm joining the government so I can upload child pornography and murder and shoot dogs.
Seriously though, right? Like it's kind of just so funky how some people get into this mode of thinking and be like, oh, it's okay because I'm the authority, and if it wasn't for me, there would be more evil creatures out there. But
did you see? Speaking of which, man, you saw how like a lot of progressive British people, they were like trying to align the Brexit move with racism and like,
oh yeah,
and, like disdain for immigration.
Supposedly, this is what makes me so upset. Sorry to cut it, but like supposedly anarchists who are like so anti-authoritarian and whatever are calling Brexit racist, and they're like, no, the world's gonna be ending for Europe. England is gonna be gone, and all that shit. And in New Hampshire, I remember when I was attending a panel, they asked me, oh, do you guys think that, because we were in an internationalist panel and whatever, and they were asking, do you guys think it's racist for the people to get out of the European Union? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Why would it be racist to get out of a collective where it's bureaucratic power elite parasitically taking your voting rights and your sovereignty away from you, and you call that racist because you want sovereignty of your own? Doesn't make sense. That's how the media has like conflated this whole narrative to make it seem anything that goes against the big government or the New World Order, meaning like the power collective of the European Union and United Nations and NATO and all that, it's racist. So it's just a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of fluff.
And they don't have a basic understanding of things. I gotta go.
Suck, man. All right, so just to finalize, let's shoot a date for the podcast. And it was a great meeting. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I really respect all of you guys for coming. So we'll be in touch, and until later, thank you very much. That's all I can say. I'm really grateful for you guys.
So where are we setting the date? Like group chat or some shit?
Yeah, that'll be best. Let's keep all the details that have to do with the podcast in group chat. The group chat that we've already initiated through Failbook is the one we're going to be brainstorming and doing all that stuff. I was thinking perhaps September, around mid-September, 15 or 17 around, so we can just get straightforward and not just be like, oh, next month. Let's do it in the middle of September.
Okay, September 15th, that weekend I might be out of town, just a heads up.
Okay, let's try September 17 or something like that. Yeah,
okay.
Around that weekend.
I'll send y'all a message when I know for sure.
Okay, so let's just cut it off here, guys. Wonderful meeting. Let's do this again. Thank you very much.
Everyone, love you guys. Take care.
Bye. See ya.
Much love.
Harambe!